And so we'll move on to appearance of interested citizens. Members of the public may address the City Council on items of interest or within the city's jurisdiction. Individuals addressing general comments are encouraged to limit their statement to 3 minutes. And sir, I apologize. I know you want to speak about the Yuba City bus service, but I'm having a hard time reading the handwriting for your first name.
I didn't hear you, ma'am.
What's your name?
My name is... Good evening, all. My name is Jerome Doherty. I reside at 2187 Birmingham Drive. My question is simple to all of you. How much does Yuba City pay for Yuba City Transit? What is our share? Mr. Dykes, I'm sure this is going to be a question that's going to be coming up for you for election to Board of Supervisors. It's being circulated now. I don't expect an answer tonight, but nobody seems to know. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. And moving on to another request, Mr. Phil Traynor would like to speak to water issues.
First of all, I do appreciate being allowed to come up here and make some remarks. The council has always been very easy for me to speak to. It may be hard for you people to understand me a lot of times, but such is life. We go back on this. I have no complaints on your water issue, and I shouldn't be up here complaining because I didn't attend any meetings. But I had 7 telephone calls at home. 7 telephone calls don't mean too much. It wouldn't appear to mean too much to the council people, but it does to me when everybody's griping about the water issue. So we just got our last water bill. Have any of you got any idea what you charge me per acre foot for water? Has anybody in here any idea what they're being charged on an acre foot? Because that's how the city buy their water, right? Well, how do they buy it? You buy it by an acre foot. I think you pay around $60 an acre foot, in my opinion. I'm being charged $7,501. There's the bill. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to keep the business, you have to keep the city going. But when we passed on the Hillcrest issue, which I like to think was the best thing that ever happened in this city, because at least the citizens stood up for themselves and tried to do something. They did do something, and then we did agree that we could negotiate. At that time, after the group that did all the walking for the Hillcrest issue, we agreed with the council that the monthly bill would be a certain amount of money. It would reduce in the winter time, it would increase in the summertime. Well, it increases in the summertime, but it doesn't reduce in the winter. Mr. Gill, I think, is the only one that was on the board or around at that time. I can envision my water bill going as high as maybe $150 this summer. The lowest it went this winter was around 40. But I want to point out to everybody that we are cutting down a redwood tree because it didn't get sufficient water last summer. If you check on the issue of water and how it's used, that redwood tree sucked 150 to 180 gallons of water a day out of the ground. And it also supplied enough oxygen for 2 people every day. So at the rate you're charging me for water, if I left that tree, I would use up all the water just from that one tree, and it would still die. So I would ask you to let the public know just how much money you need and how it's going to be expended. Maybe we could go through the throes of the Hillcrest issue all over again and bring it back down to a reasonable number. I would hope that the city can get some extra allowances out of the state on the water usage, which I think you should be able to. But now we're down to what, 12 units a day is what you're telling us we can use, that we should use?
I believe the number's 11.
11?
That was mailed to you.
We were fortunate, my wife and I used 2.6 units last month. Remember what they talked about Jerry Brown, if it flushes, don't do something? I think that something has to be done. I don't think you can allow for this type of thing to happen because we're going to have no grass on the lawns. Our back lawn is gone. We don't have one anymore. Our front lawn is just about gone. We're taking out a 40-year-old redwood tree. I've got 6 more redwood trees that should go out. Stand up. Tell Sacramento what has to happen. Ask the question, what will the public be willing to pay on an acre-foot basis for water? Because I don't think anybody in here even thought that we were paying $7,500 an acre-foot as individuals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Trainer. And moving on to speaker card, third one that was issued was Mr. Rick Dice. Also would like to talk about Prop 218 water protest. And for the public's clarification, we're not going to respond back to these. These are not items on our agenda tonight. The information is being presented to us, so you're not going to hear an engagement of discussion regarding these items. We simply can only intake the information. Rick?
To the council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. You had a presentation about the employees and recognizing your employees. I would agree. I've been interacting with a lot of city employees in the last few weeks, and I think they all do an excellent job. It's probably not a secret that sometimes I've crossed swords with city council and leadership, but your employees are doing an excellent job. I got involved about 4 weeks ago when you proposed to annex the Keyhole area again, and of course I'm opposed to it because it was done 12 years ago and defeated by a 62.9% vote. That annexation is still very unpopular. And lo and behold, that night I really didn't pay attention. You were proposing your water increases. And since I don't have glasses, I couldn't read the numbers. I didn't realize how severe they were. Getting a notice from a friend, I noticed that the numbers are quite severe. And it's to a point where we've gotten together, gotten a sample ballot proposal, gone door to door. I'm 63 years old. I've done a lot of door-to-door work, garden seeds, Christmas cards. And we didn't even celebrate Christmas, but I've done a lot of door-to-door work, firewood. But I have to tell you, in going door-to-door on Saturday and Monday, I've never gone door-to-door and experienced a situation where 100% of the people signed a petition. There hasn't been anyone that felt that your water proposal is anywhere reasonable. When you look at the numbers that are proposed, my friends in Live Oak get 20 HCFs units. That's their baseline. And if you look at 20 HCFs in Yuba City, by year 3, the rates, the amount of money that people are paying is going to double by the 3rd year. And no one feels that's reasonable. So I know it's pretty far along in the process. I think what's going to happen is hopefully there's going to be 1 million people signing these petitions. You're going to have to redo the numbers. And it just so happens that I've gone through the annexation area with these. It's not helping your annexation proposal either. I think it would be wise for City Council to withdraw their application with LAFCO. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dice. Elaine, hand it forward.
Okay. Elaine Miles. I got in the mail this notice about the rate changes. I own 2 properties in Yuba City. My tenant, I pay their bill. My tenant, fortunately, brought the notice over to me. It should not have gone to them. It's also in the name of my trust, the property ownership, not the name of the bill that I get. So that's one issue. The other one I have is in the same mail I got from Live Oak. We own property there. I pay an assessment, and it's time for a renewal on that assessment for the cemetery. They sent a ballot out. I talked to my neighbor about what we got in the mail. She thought it was just an advertisement telling her that there's another, we're still in the same days to water. She threw it away. She didn't even know that this is what's happening because it didn't come out with a ballot. It didn't come out with anything. It looked like a lot of garbage, basically. I don't think it was fair for the city to do that. I don't think it was really letting them know what was happening. And I know that the rates are going to go up because it's a heck of a lot of vote. But I really don't think that the council was fair to the citizens in your notification. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to turn to the city manager just for clarification that the notice that was sent is within, and maybe I need to turn to legal counsel, that notice that was sent is well within the guidelines of what the city has done in the past for notifications on very same issues, and that the content of that was sufficient.
Mr. Mayor, we're always very careful about this because it's prescribed under state law. So we actually use, and council can probably comment on this, but we actually use outside counsel who specializes in Prop 218 law to make sure we're following exactly what needs to be done. And that's what was followed.
All right. I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.